What I have in front of me is a Google Pixel 4 that won't turn on. Let's see if we can find out what the problem is. Bienvenue and welcome to 150 Days of Winter. Hello! 7 screws, 1 plate. To be truthful, I don't see an awful lot of Google Pixel 4s. 90% of the stuff that comes in here is iPhone, and the remaining 10%, most of it is Samsung. When a Google Pixel 4 comes in, I'm quite interested to see what's wrong. If anybody ever asks me to recommend an Android phone for them, I will recommend a Pixel over any of the other brands. Okay, you get stock Android, which I personally think is the best. Okay, but that's beside the point. We have a Pixel 4 here, which the client said is just over 1 year old. When they hold down the power button, the Google logo appears. When they let go of the power button, it immediately turns itself off again. Okay, which tells me immediately that the screen is working. Now, there is another, when I go into Google and type in Google Pixel 4 won't turn on, the first major video you come to is a guy who goes on to press and hit his Google Pixel until it starts up again, which is an interesting solution. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but for that one, what he's basically doing is if one of the cables has come undone in the back, by pressing and with more and more force, you will, in theory, flex the glass on the back until you can push that connector back down. Okay, this is not that problem. Okay, for him, the screen is not working whatsoever, and in our case, we can see the Google logo. The client again tried to hold down the power button and the volume button to go into the startup with one of the special menus, and again, as soon as they take their finger off the the power button, it turns itself off. If I'm given a problem like this, I have to go through a certain number of steps to see what is wrong with this. Okay, because it could be several things. It could be the charging port. It could be the battery. It could actually be something inside as well that has come loose or whatever. Again, the client said that this happened after a fall. The screen isn't broken, none of the glass is broken, but we have to go through some processes to actually see what the problem is. I've already managed to remove the back of this super carefully, and without inside, we can do a cursory inspection of the ports down by where the battery is. Okay, and we can see initially that everything is plugged in perfectly fine. The battery is plugged in fine. All the other connectors, the screen connector, all these other things are connected absolutely fine. Okay, so we know that it's not a loose connection. Then of course we have to see whether it's the charging port. Okay, because if the battery has no power, the charging port isn't working. You don't go and buy a new battery if it won't charge. What I find a really good way of doing this is I have a battery pack. This one is made by Zendure, and what it enables me to do is I can plug in a device like this, and on the screen of Zendure it'll tell me how much battery is remaining on this. However, if it doesn't charge, that screen goes out, and it has just done it now. So it's told me immediately that this thing is not charging. What we can now do is, if I actually go and disconnect the battery from here, we can see, if I turn the phone back over, being super gentle because I don't want to disconnect the thing. If I go and plug it back in, we can see that it comes up and says no battery installed. which tells me that the charging port actually works absolutely fine. Which leads us to the final thing on our list. I'm actually going to replace the battery, and of course the client, when I asked her about this, she said the battery was only a year old. And why would the battery have gone if it was only a year old? Okay, so I'm just going to put the back on, and of course when I put this back to the power on, I get, and immediately it shows me a charging indicator, and of course it says the battery is at 16%, which is amazing. And so of course now I hold down the power button and the phone starts absolutely perfectly. So after all that, it was a bad battery. Super, they're like €15 plus labor, super easy fix. If you'd found this video useful, every now and then, it's not the main thing on my channel, but if you'd found this useful, click the subscribe button down below, click the like button, leave me a comment, and I will see you all in the next video. Ciao.